Yu-Gi-Oh, a very popular card anime in the early 2000s. But once the anime reaches the Battle City, they reveal three certain cards: the Egyptian God cards, the most powerful monsters on the whole Yu-Gi-Oh anime: Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Obelisk, the Tormentor, and then finally the strongest of all of them, the Winged Dragon of Ra. These three are the most powerful Yu-Gi-Oh monsters ever. In fact, so much so that the anime has to quickly grab these three cards away from the protagonist, because the next arc he would have been too powerful for the next villain. So how these three came into the actual card game? Well,
You serious?
well, that's pretty bad. Anyways, how about we make a video on it, shall we? This would probably never happen. They could make another support cards to help them out, but the cards themselves are pretty bad by themselves. When I saw them on the show, I thought they were the coolest thing and the most powerful creatures in the game and pretty unstoppable, but you could see them pretty disappointing, I know. Luckily, since you saw the video, we're going to help or remake the cards themselves. This video is just hypothetical situation. What if Konami remake the cards in the modern world? This would probably never happen, like ever, because they did it with all the other cards. They could have remade the cards, but instead they tried to give it more support cards than anything else. But I want these three cards to be special, you know, because they were so hyped in the anime. I just feel like they should have we should give them justice for that. And I don't care if I make them too OP because I want them, because that's intentional. They should be. So much for they should be banned in the real life. That's the main goal here. Trying to see if we could make the god cards OP as hell, or not overpowered that immediately wins you the game once you summon it. I want it to be a potential to defeat them, but it's very hard to counter, just like a certain real life problem like a red eyes dark dragoon dragon. Oh, that card, that's special. Anyways, how about we remake those cards, shall we? Before we jump into it, I just want to add a unique text on the top on the cards, like the pendulum and union and tuning things there built into the cards without being them in them, so that I cannot overload the text in the monster, and that's a problem in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh that has a problem by itself. So I'm trying to avoid that, but this is hard. This is how I would have done it. These cards' original name is always treated as Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Obelisk, the Tormentor, the Winged Dragon of Ra, and of the icon, that one is separate to the one of the cards that's just connected to the original remake card. So anyways, must require 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. When summoned, cards and effect cannot be negated on response or in response. Now this is the beachy part. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with cards effect. Those original level rank link is lower than this card's current level. Remember in the anime that there's certain hierarchies in the anime. I'm trying to do that in sort of way. These cards are very powerful, but they can still be affected by other higher monsters. So Ra, it's the only card that can affect Obelisk in the Sky Dragon, while Ra is pretty untouchable, but only those that has a higher level than it. So I want to keep that to make the theme going. When in defense mode, your opponent can only attack this monster as long as it remains on the field, which means that it could be worked on a defensive way, where if you quickly summon this monster on your opponent's turn, they can't exactly ignore it. And I want that to be and remember, I want it because it remind me on that one episode where Kaiba summons Obelisk and pretty much protects him. So I wanted to keep that. So the next effect, this card can only be destroyed by battle from monsters of equal or higher level ranks or links. And now, if special summon at the end of your turn, it must be sent back to the graveyard. When this card summons, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn, except for divine beast monsters, which means that you can't OTKO immediately. It's there for a reason. You can only use each of the 1, 2, 3 effect on this card once per turn. And now let's get to the code part. I want these effects to actually fit the card cards, but I want to also make them much more stronger. But I also want them to be faithful of the monster themselves. So I'm going to mostly what I think in the anime transmit to the modern card game. So Slifer, the Sky Scorcher Dragon, level 11, attack 0, defense 0. This card gains 1000 attack and defense for each card in your hand. Additionally, it can make one additional attack for each card on your opponent's hand. If your opponent summons or normal summons a monster, it loses 2000 attack points and defense points. Additionally, that monster effect is negated and cannot be used as a material from the extra deck for one turn. Quick effect, you can discard all cards in your hand. Requires 4 cards or more. Cards sent to the graveyard by this effect do not activate the effect. Destroy all cards in the spell and trap zone, then draw 1 card for each destroyed this way. I want Slifer to be a more defensive monster than the other 3 here. You can definitely see that Slifer is meant to destroy opponents that tries to play floodgates opponent, and also it can pretty much do a lot of damage when set up just correctly, and also it slows down your opponent, which is probably a good thing because you just summon this guy for 3 monsters on the field, which is hard enough. But for the next one, Obelisk the Rareful Tormentor, level 11, attack 4000, defense 4000. You can send 2 monster cards from your hand and 1 monster from your graveyard to the banners face down. Destroy all monsters your opponents control. Inflict damage to your opponents equal to the half of the combined original attack points of all the monsters destroyed. But you cannot attack during the turn this effect is activated. Banish 5 monsters with different names from your graveyard to the banner zone. Face down. This card can attack directly during this turn. Quick effect. Tribute 2 monsters on your side of the field. Send them to the graveyard. This monster's original attack points are doubled for the turn. I want Obelisk to be attack because it was mainly used by Kyber and he pretty uses him like how I originally thought he would be. Just a pure power that just destroys everything and your opponent's monsters attack. And if you notice, the quick effect could power up Obelisk's second effect, which attacks directly, which means if you do those two effects, which means that Obelisk could do that one move in the movies where it had infinite attack points and can attack directly. That's a little homage to it. The Immortal Winged Dragon of Ra, level 12, attack 0, defense 0. When summoned by tribute, Ra gains the combined attack and defense point of the 3 tribute monsters. If you summon, you can play life points in multiple of 100, so that you have at least 100 remaining. This card gains attack points and defense point equal to the number of life points paid. Quick effect. By paying 1000 LP, you can negate the activation of your opponent's card and destroy it. Second quick effect. You can tribute this card to destroy all cards on your opponent's field under their control. During your draw phase, you can place this card back to the monster zone while retaining its attack and defense point. I want Ra to be like how Magic used him, like where you cannot get rid of him because he is a phoenix. So I want to give that he can always come back to the field by pretty much blowing up. I just want to homage to that way he battled Joey and he pretty much wiped out his entire field here. And also the tool effect makes sense for Ra because I want to update the effects to be much more stronger. As you could see, I remake the 3 cards where Slifer needs cards from your hand to work, while Obelisk needs monsters to work with its effect, and Ra needs life point to work on for its effect to work. And if you notice, Slifer can destroy all cards on the spell and trap zone, while Obelisk can destroy all monsters on the field, while Ra can just detonate everything on your opponent's field to separate them apart a bit. But I like how I reimaginate them into the modern world. If you guys think these effects are a bit too overpowered, well, that was my intention. How about you leave a like? How about you guys leave a comment down below on how would you remake the cards, and I might follow up on the next video. Make sure you should subscribe to find out more what else you cards I should reimagine it into the modern world. Until next time, peace.